Hey Gearheads, and welcome to Garage Talk. I'm Corey.
I'm Holly.
Right here is Tucker.
Yep, that's me.
And we're mixing things up a little bit in our second time, well at least Holly and I, in the now 2024 Hyundai IONIQ 6. An award-winning vehicle that is fully electric. And now, yes, we've got Tucker's help reviewing this one as a family. Stay tuned. All right, Holly, we're doing something completely different this time. I'm back in the back, you're up in the front, Tucker and I are back here because you and I have already ridden side by side up front.
Yeah.
We've already experienced this vehicle. We were invited out by Hyundai to Savannah, Georgia to drive the 2023 version. The only thing that's changed for 2024 is the price, and not in the way that I think you think, but now that we've gotten this one on our home turf, Holly, memories of Savannah flooding back, what are your initial impressions?
There's a lot of things to like about this car. Do we want to start with the outside and work our way in?
Sounds great.
Perfect. Okay, so a few things I didn't notice. Well, first of all, the shape to me kind of looks like a doodle bug.
I was wondering if you were going to go there.
Not like a Volkswagen Beetle,
Right.
but like
A roly-poly.
a roly-poly doodle bug. What did you call it growing up? A roly-poly? or a doodle-
Roly-poly. What did y'all call them growing up? Sound off in the comments below.
But yeah, that's kind of what it looks like. But then you said from the back, it kind of looks like a Porsche, and it does look like a Porsche from the back. So it's an interesting car. And then from the front, doesn't look like a Porsche,
Decidedly not.
but I still kind of like it.
Yep.
Um,
I would say the front is the most roly-poly-esque to me.
yeah.
Yeah.
One thing that is interesting and also I feel like is bug-like, that's so weird to me, but are the little flaps at the bottom that open to let the engine flow through.
The battery cool.
The battery cool. Oh yeah, because, wait,
It's an EV.
it's an EV? So the battery cool.
Yes.
Battery cool. To let the air flow through. But I think those little flaps, those are really cool because when I was outside and I saw them like open and close, I'm like, ooh, fancy, what's that?
So they close for aerodynamic efficiency, which we'll get to in a little bit, and they open to help cool the battery because yes, air still does need to help cool the batteries. They do get warm. I don't know if you've ever tried to charge an iPhone on a hot summer day. They get hot. So yeah.
Yes.
So you like the back end?
I like the back end.
Okay.
I like the booty.
Okay. Just had to make sure.
Sexy booty.
Yeah, it looks like you said, like an old Porsche, however you want to call it, or an old Saab. I made mention in my solo review, I feel like I should be wearing like a tweed jacket. It's very like a professorial type of vehicle. I could see a college professor driving these.
Really? That's not who I put in it.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Who would you put in this?
I would put in it a mom. A cool mom.
Okay.
A
So
cool mom.
you would just
Me.
you've just put yourself
Me,
in this
a cool
vehicle.
mom. Obviously, I look great in this vehicle.
Well, you do. What are your thoughts? And I already know the answer, even though I haven't asked you this yet. What are your thoughts on the color?
I love the color. This color is very pretty, and you know I like a good color.
Yeah.
What's this color? It's
This
great.
is called transmission blue.
Oh, transmission blue. I like transmission blue. I don't really like that name though. But
No. And it's weird. This car doesn't even have a transmission. So,
that's true.
moving inside, what are your thoughts in here now that we've gotten to live with it versus having what I called our speed date in Savannah?
I mean, it was a speed date, but we were in the car for a long time.
Yeah.
In Savannah. But I still like it. I'll probably like it even more now. First is the design. It's just, it's not boring.
No.
And I know these, I don't know what this one cost, but they are affordable vehicles. And it just aggravates me a lot that sometimes affordable vehicles means that the design on the inside is just black, everything's flat, you know, and I think you could do it just like this in an affordable way that uses materials that aren't boring.
Okay, so you bring up materials. I had to ask, thoughts on the door panels?
I like the door panels. You don't like the door panel?
Well, if you look closely, I did my best on that door to clean it up, but we got this in a torrential downpour, and there's a lot of water spotting on the doors.
Interesting.
And it's because it's this interesting hard plastic.
Yeah, I guess I can see a few things here.
And that was a little disappointing to me. I know they put a lot of emphasis into this ripple water look
I like
effect.
the ripple water.
Yeah, but very disappointing with the water spotting that we got on it.
I didn't notice that. And then the armrest right here is a little squishy.
Yep.
So I like that.
And I've got a nice little phone-sized cubby here on the back door.
that phone-sized cubby back there.
I wish it were in the front doors.
I do too.
But it's so perfectly sized, even for my iPhone 14.
I like the wings right here.
Yeah. If
I
we
like whatever this is.
those wings, if we had the foreign model, would be the place where the rear view camera mirror projections are placed. US regulations mandate we still have mirrors on the outside. So there's that.
Well, I like it. I like the steering wheel.
Okay.
I like the flat bottom of the steering wheel.
I can't tell from back here, but are you grabbing it? Are you resting both your hands on the bottom of it? Have you driven it that way yet?
Yes.
Yeah, I figured as much.
I like the dots, colored dots that tell you the charge.
They do a lot of things. And Tucker noticed that there was no Hyundai H, no traditional Hyundai H logo on the steering wheel, but that is Morse code for H, so I've been told. And yes, when you've got it charged up and plugging, like if you use a Lectron charger like we do, link down in the description below, it'll tell you whether you're at 0, 25, 50, 75, or 100% charge based on those 4 little lights.
The seats are comfortable.
Yes, they are.
They're very comfortable.
I've put a lot of miles. I road tripped this one to Fort Worth and back, and yes, it's very comfortable. What are your thoughts of the very Jeep Wrangler-esque center console there, in the fact that all your window controls are in the middle?
In the middle. Yeah.
I have to retrain my brain. I'm like, oh, they're in the middle, because I keep reaching.
I do too.
But
I guess it would mess up the design on the door. I mean, we've had it for a week and I'm used to it now.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
And then you've got that massive storage underneath.
Yes, I love the storage underneath for my purse or whatever. I like that. Can't decide if I like this.
Yeah.
Because it has this little cubby right here.
That's where I set my phone when I plug it in to charge.
Same. So I like that. But if you can see, like, it sticks out. So whatever you put here, somebody can see what it is.
Yeah.
So like my wallet's there right now. That wouldn't be the best. And then the hole is pretty small down here. But again, I like that it doesn't close all the way because we have like our cord coming out of here and it doesn't get squashed. You don't have to worry about that. You can put your phone right there. So like I said, I'm not sure if I like it yet or not.
Okay. But yeah, like you said, plenty of storage underneath. Room back here. The whole reason I am back here in the first place is when I saw where Holly had her seat placed for her to ride and I looked back here, I said, my goodness, I have literally more room back here than in an F-150. That is not an exaggeration. My feet aren't even underneath your seat right now. I am so, like, I can cross my legs. I am so comfortable back here. And that is one of the benefits of this being an EV. They can stretch the wheelbase. But what was the last Hyundai we had, Holly?
Palisade?
Yes. This has a longer wheelbase than the Hyundai Palisade. So more room back here than when we had that 3-row family SUV. And yes, tons of room back here. I've got some nice amenities, but I guess now would be a great time to talk about putting in Tucker's child safety seat. Since becoming a father, I have discovered exactly why SUVs are so popular for families with kids in car seats. Putting them in a traditional car or sedan is more difficult than I'd like to admit. And we're gonna get into that here with this IONIQ 6. But a few things I do wanna point out is just how much room is back here. If you couldn't already tell from the rest of our review, this is me sitting behind where I have been riding as a passenger anytime Holly is driving. Look how much room is back here. The wheelbase on this is longer than the Hyundai Palisade. So yeah, tons of rear leg room back here. We do have a couple air vents back here, 2 USB-C ports, a little bit of storage, map pocket storage back here, a little bit of storage even here on the door for like a phone, which is really cool. You don't really see that a lot. And then we get the door pocket storage here, just like on the front doors. So all of that is very nice. But yeah, very comfortable back seat back here. But let's bring in Tucker's Graco Extend-A-Fit child safety seat, and we will go ahead and recline it for rearward facing installation. Because of just how much room is in it, I don't need to move the front seat forward. Like I said, much like the Palisade, this has a longer wheelbase than said Palisade and only 2 rows to deal with. So much like that Palisade, we don't have to move the front seat forward, which is very nice. Coming to the standard seating position that Tucker has been in for the entirety of this video, this is the part I dislike. Trying to get the top tether attached and tighten down. We do have top tethers all the way across back here, but it is so much easier in SUVs when you're just on the back of a seat. The other thing I highly dislike from this vehicle, this is the second time I've had to do this, it's not very fun. We do have lower latch points for both of the outboard seats here that I can feel with my finger right now, but trying to find exactly the right angle and direction to get them tightened or attached is not my favorite, because there's just so much of the seat material kind of getting in the way. The second attempt went much smoother than the first attempt. So you can see it is nice and secure in here, and it is not the worst child seat install I've ever done. But now let's go take a look at the trunk storage space back in the back. Before I open the trunk, I just want to talk about the back end of this now that we have the camera on here. I know Holly's already addressed it. I've already addressed it, but I really like it. It looks like unlike anything else on the road today, and that's pretty cool. Much like Hyundai's SUVs and crossovers in the lineup, this has the smart key system with the smart access trunk. So when the vehicle is off and locked and I have the key in my pocket, I just walk up to the back of the vehicle. It beeps a few times to let me know the trunk is about to open, and then it does so. So if my hands are absolutely full with stuff, I can just go back here, stand back here. No dancing or gyrating to do a kick activated anything under the bumper. It just does it all by itself. It does take a little bit longer if you're like carrying something really heavy, but otherwise it's very easy and convenient. We do have a 60-40 split bench rear seat with the 40% actually being on the driver's side. It's backwards from how I prefer it, but it hasn't been an issue in our time with this one because we haven't really been hauling a lot of stuff in it. It does have a very nicely large trunk and a very interesting trunk opening because this is not a hatchback. The profile says maybe it should be a hatchback, but you can see it is a traditional trunk that gives you a very wide opening back here. So very unique design all the way around, especially with the way that kind of clamshells around the edges here. We do have a little additional storage behind this very thin false floor. You can see that is where the Hyundai supplied charger is. And we've got some foam insulation back here so it's not gonna make a bunch of noise, which I really like. So that is a nice touch back here. A lot of bit of additional storage right here. And it is a power trunk. That means power opening and closing. But that is not the end of the trunk storage in here because we still have that front trunk or frunk. Yes, there is still more storage in this vehicle outside of what we've talked about inside and that trunk back there, and that's under the hood, though it's not really a lot in the grand scheme of things. We do have gas struts supporting this hood, and there you have it. There is your weather-sealed, weather-tight additional storage in the front trunk. Hyundai has traditionally not invested a lot into front trunk storage. I could say this would be a good place to put your charge cable as well. It is rubberized. You can see it is all heat protected, so whatever you put up here isn't going to rattle, but it's kind of laughable just how little space they've dedicated up here. I guess something is better than nothing. And in a vehicle that emphasizes its design up front, versus its overall storage capacity, you can see it has a much shorter hood than rivals from like Tesla. And that is part of the reason why we get so few or so little bit of storage up front here. Uh-oh, looks like I trapped a little something in there. But yeah, the shorter hood line is definitely the reason for the lack of space up front. And they could have elongated the front end and given us more storage space, because there is still stuff that needs to go up underneath the hood up here, but they just chose style over the additional storage up front. Even though we've got that very tapered rear roof line, we still have a very good trunk space in here. But Tucker, what was one thing you and I noticed about the headroom back here in the back? Did you bonk your head when you climbed in the first time? Yeah. So again, another reason why I am sitting back here in this review versus where I normally ride up there with Holly is Tucker and I have both noticed now that with that sloping rear roof line, headroom is a little bit compromised back here versus perhaps the IONIQ 5, which is billed as an SUV. But you can see me sitting back here, I'm 5'10", I've still got plenty of room. It's just
getting in and
less. Yeah, be aware climbing in and out of the sloping rear roof line, the compromises we make for this gorgeous, gorgeous booty, as you called it, back in the back. The design overall, what's wrong?
I really don't like the word girl. Gorgeous, gorgeous booty.
Okay, I'm sorry, buddy. I'm sorry. Tucker, what are some things that you like about this car?
Well, I do like the color.
You do, yeah. And do you like how much room you have back here?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And you typically like electric vehicles, don't you? Whee! Look at her go.
Yeah.
Why do you like electric vehicles?
'Cause they're fast.
Mommy, that's your cue. Woo! And you're driving around in eco mode right now. This thing gets even faster if you put it in sport mode. But I guess that is a good segue into the driving nature of this and the fact that, yes, it's an EV. We can talk about electric range. The EPA rates it at an estimated 270 miles on a full charge. You want to know what I saw when I unplugged it this morning?
what?
287!
What?
Yeah, so if you drive this thing well and not crazy like I might have done today when I was reviewing it, you can get a fair amount of range in this, especially in a city environment. When you take it on the highway, it will decrease. But you see the screen behind you there, Holly. How many miles have we put it on it since we've had it?
413.7.
And what is our miles per kilowatt currently?
3.3.
3.3. So that is actually very impressive. We're seeing that decrease a little bit again because of my filming earlier today. But this thing, I have seen over 4 miles per kilowatt hour on this one. It is incredibly efficient when it comes to the electricity it uses. And part of that comes down to that shape again that we've been talking about this whole time. What has been your experience piloting this thing around, Holly?
I really like driving this car.
Give me some deets.
Well,
what are some things you like?
Well, anytime you're driving an EV, it's a given that it's easier to like pop in and out of places.
But what is the driving experience like, actually moving this thing around? Power delivery, steering, the ride quality, stuff like that.
Steering is easy.
Not too heavy?
Not too heavy. The steering wheel kind of can hide the screen some. I don't like that. I would love a head-up display in this car.
Yeah, me too. I would very much.
But driving it's been smooth sailing.
Yeah, and we are coming up on the wobbly head test here in just a little bit on the historic brick streets of downtown Tyler, but I've already alluded to it once in this video, the extended wheelbase that is giving me all this room right here, and giving Tucker and I so much room back here in the back. That also helps with the ride. It kind of smooths everything out. The battery being underneath us also makes this a heavier vehicle than your traditional midsize sedan, so that kind of helps smooth out the ride as well. And then we've got those 20-inch wheels that look very nice, but plenty of sidewall that it doesn't like jar you every time you hit a bump. As we turn onto the historic brick streets, we get to see what that is like in practicality. Tucker, how's your wobbly head back here?
Kind of don't. It's a little wobbly.
Little wobbly? What about up there in the front?
Stays in place.
Yeah.
Hopefully,
What's
here's
it like
the
in the-
big one. Not too bad.
Not bad at all.
Not bad at all.
What's it like in the front? Because I can tell you it's very nice back here in the back.
It's nice back here in the back. I can feel a little jiggle, but the seats are very comfy.
Yeah. Do a lot of soaking up of the
They
bumps.
do a lot of soaking up at the bumps.
Yep. Here we go over the decommissioned railroad tracks.
Oh yeah, I can't even feel that.
Yep. So yeah, the added weight from the battery, the longer wheelbase, all that adds to an extra ride. Overall, what are your thoughts on visibility?
Visibility is mostly good. Out the back window can be a little hard to see because it is like a sloped, and then you've got the car seat and the headrest back there. I guess you could, but other than that, other than the back window, all the windows are really big and good. 2-person memory we didn't mention.
No, yeah, 2-person
That's
memory
nice.
seats like that. Any other thoughts before I pull out the window sticker?
Ambient lighting.
I can't believe you hadn't brought it up yet.
That is my most important thing.
Yeah.
There's a lot of options for ambient lighting. You
And
can do
two-tone.
yes, you could do 2 different colors, and that is so fun.
Yep. All right. Anything else before I pull out the window sticker?
That's it. Those are my favorites. Probably
Those are your favorite things.
my favorite thing.
All right. I already mentioned the economy of this one. 270 miles of EPA estimated range. We have seen over that in our time with it unplugging it from the wall. Estimated 33 kilowatts per 100 miles traveled. Again, we're seeing about that. What is it? 30.4 miles per kilowatt right
That's
now.
right, because I'm trying to make up for your bad driving.
And I did mention the price did change from last year. It
Yes.
went down.
Well, when you said I'd be surprised
Yes.
which way, I figured it must have went.
So base
Why?
price went
Wow.
down over 6% over last year, just production efficiencies. And we are driving a similarly equipped limited all-wheel drive model. It went down 5%. You probably can't remember, because I can definitely not remember what that one in Savannah cost us. What are your guesses for this one after living with it for a week?
43.
No, but very close.
Okay.
$54,975.
Okay.
And that is a 5% reduction from the one we
I
drove.
guess.
That was Tucker's guess.
Yeah.
That's a 5% reduction from the one we drove in Savannah, Georgia, which was a 23 model. And you and I was trying my hardest to convince you, but it didn't matter because we didn't get one in time. Hyundai actually had a lease on these, the base model with the longest range battery, 320 miles of range. $249 down, $249 a month for 2 years with 12,000 miles per year allowed on the lease. Thoughts on this one now that you know the price of it?
I wish it had a head-up display.
That is about the only thing. And I wish they would do something about the water spotting type material
Yeah.
here on the doors. Those two
But
things.
for an EV, I mean, it has the works. It doesn't have a cooling seat.
Yes, it does. Unfortunately, you
does?
have to hit multiple buttons to get to it. So you see underneath the word climate up there, that changes to the climate control menu on the screen, and then you can do the heated and ventilated seats through there.
Oh, okay.
I don't like that either,
I
but
don't like that. Yeah, but I like it. Yeah, this panel, it could be better
yes, it could.
altogether.
Yes, it could. Well, on that note, that bombshell, maybe, I don't know, I guess it's about expected. If you want to see more from Holly on this vehicle or many others, behind the scenes stuff from her, go find her on Facebook and Instagram at Female Consumer. You can find all things GT Garage Shock at GT Garage Shock, Facebook, Instagram, X, TikTok, Threads, YouTube, you name it, all at GT Garage Shock. Or where else can they go, Tucker? GTGarageShock.com. So there you have it. Hit the subscribe button, ring the bell so you're notified every time a new video drops from us. But until next time, gearheads, bye. Yeah. And you typically like electric vehicles, don't you? Whee! Look at her go.
Yeah.
Why do you like electric vehicles?
Because they're fast.
Mommy, that's your cue. Woo! And you're driving around in eco mode right now. This thing gets even faster if you put it in sport mode.